Hi pals, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. Today I'm just going to go over the books that I've read recently, so April and May, I believe. Honestly, I've been in a pretty bad reading slump, so this is mostly going to be April books. I haven't really read that much in May. I've also been dealing with a lot of health issues, so I've just, not had the energy to read, but yes, let's just hop right into it. The first book that I read in April was Harrow the Ninth. Finally, I was very excited to get this from the library. Obviously, I loved Gideon the Ninth. I would not shut up about it for a while, so I was very excited to read the second book, and honestly, it was like I don't even know how to describe it, just very confusing, but in the best way. Like, I felt like everything was like wild, lots of chaos, lots of things happening at once, very interesting. Like, I really enjoyed the experience of reading this book and the feeling of like not really knowing what the hell is going on. Always a fun time when reading a book. I gave this a 4.5 stars because yeah, it was amazing, but it was a little confusing, so that's why I didn't get a full 5 stars, but it was very close. Next, I read Among the Beasts and Briars. Honestly, I had no idea what this book was about going into it. A couple months ago, I had gone to Indigo with my brother and my mom, and I told my brother to just pick out a random book. Don't have to like read the back or anything, just pick out a book and I will read it, so I did that. He has good taste apparently from the random pick because I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5 stars. It was very interesting and I really liked the concept of like a cursed wood that like turns people into monsters and a fox that's turned into a person. I did call the like twist at the end, which I felt very accomplished about. I know some people would probably rate something lower or like wouldn't enjoy it as much if they were able to guess the twist, but I don't guess them very often, so I feel very accomplished when I do, and I get very excited when I'm right. So I actually really enjoyed that part of it. Yeah, definitely a good blind read. Then I was in a bit of a graphic novel mood. I didn't really have a ton of energy to be reading full-on novels, so I went hard on the graphic novels, and the first one I read was Bloom. This one was okay. I gave it 4 stars. Honestly, I could probably go back and rate it 3 stars because I didn't love it. I don't think about it now after reading it. I don't really think I'll ever reread it. It was okay. I liked the art. The story was fine, but it didn't really feel like anything special, you know? Like, I didn't feel all that attached to the characters. I wasn't super interested. It was definitely more of like a let me read this short graphic novel to up my book count kind of read, you know? So that one was a bit of a miss. Then I read Wind, Book 1, Flight of the Prince, which I actually really enjoyed. I believe I got this from NetGalley, and yeah, it was super cute. I enjoyed the story. I thought it was interesting. The art style was really cute. I liked all the characters. Like, they were very visually appealing to look at and read about. Yeah, it was very interesting. I thought it was a good, like, quick graphic novel read. A very good, like, I feel a slump coming on, so I'm gonna read this easy book kind of thing. Yeah, not the best book I've ever read, but also not bad. It was decent. Then I read The New Girl in the Elves graphic novel series, I guess. I thought this one was really interesting. I really, really liked the art, and the story had like a very interesting premise. I didn't really know what to rate it. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, mostly because it did depict DID, I think, having multiple personalities, I guess, which I liked the way that it like visually showed it. They like changed hair colors for each different personality, you know. I'm not entirely sure on what the like proper terminology is, so sorry about that, but yeah, I didn't really feel like I could give it a proper review or like really say whether it was good or not, because I don't know if the representation in it is good or accurate, or, you know, something that someone with this actual condition would enjoy and would recommend, you know. So from an outside perspective, I thought it was interesting, and I thought it was a interesting way to portray it, but yeah, that's all I can really say about it. Next, I read The Princess Who Saved Herself, which I loved. I gave 5 stars. I thought it was so cute. I read it so fast because it is like a children's novel, or children's graphic novel, but yeah, I thought it was so cute. I thought like, oh my god, little girls reading this is gonna be amazing. Like, I can't even imagine being like a little kid and reading about this princess who saves herself and gets herself out of conflict and is more mature than the adults in the book. I thought it was so cute, and I think that it's gonna be like a really cute little book for kids to read, especially little girls, and like see a badass little princess girl that saves herself. Next, I read Forget Me Not, which I got from NetGalley. I don't know. I don't think I even ended up rating this because I was just like, I don't know what to rate this. Because it was like interesting, but I also felt a little weird after reading it. There's a lot of parts that just kind of felt uncomfortable, and I don't even know how to describe how that book made me feel. It was just kind of weird. So definitely not one that I would personally recommend, and not one that I would rate highly, but I mean, it wasn't awful. I think it just might have not been my thing. Then I read volumes 1 and 2 of Cosmosuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World, which I later found out was actually a spin-off series from a different manga, I believe. But it was really cute, and I really liked it, and I thought it was really fun. I just picked it up from the library because, again, I was in a very graphic novel, manga kind of mood, and I haven't read much manga, so I just kind of grabbed the only ones available when I went that had like the first 2 volumes. So that was my reasoning for picking those ones, but yeah, I gave them 3.5 stars and 4 stars. They were fun. They were a good time. Can't complain. Then I read The Fixed Stars, which I went into blind. I did not know what it was going to be about, and all I knew was that it was nonfiction. And it was a memoir about a woman who basically figured out that she was attracted to women later in life while she was married. She became very, very attracted to a lawyer while she was doing jury duty, and I really liked this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. 4.5 stars, hello, brain. I didn't think it was like perfect, but I did really like that it felt very honest and very raw, and like the author wasn't like holding stuff back to make herself look good. She seemed to be very honest and, you know, tell the full story, and I think it's an interesting story to tell about, you know, figuring out your sexuality later in life, looking back and trying to figure out if there were any signs, if you just missed it, you know, that kind of thing. I thought it was very interesting, and yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a good nonfiction read. Then the last book that I read in April was 6 Angry Girls, which I really, really liked. I gave 5 stars. I really liked all the characters. I liked that it had multiple point of views. I thought that they each were very interesting characters, and none of them I was like, I don't care about you, you know? Sometimes multiple point of views can be hard because there's a character that you just want to skip their point of views, but I liked all of them, so it was a good time for me. I didn't think it was like anything incredibly special or, you know, mind-blowing or anything, but I did have a really fun time reading it, and, you know, I was feeling like I was getting into a reading slump, but this I read pretty fast and found fun. And that's all I really wanted, was a fun read. It did have like some stuff that made me cry like I always do because I am very emotional, but yeah, I had a really fun time reading this and I would recommend. It was also very LGBTQ. I don't know, I thought it was great. I'm very good at describing books and how they made me feel today. Now for May, I've only read 6 books, which is the least amount of books that I've read in any month this year so far, but I started with Fence Volume 1, which I thought was really cute, really good. Fencing is really interesting to me. I think fencing is really cool. Yeah, I thought it was a fun time. Nothing like crazy, but yeah, it was a good quick read. Didn't feel like I needed to put a ton of thought into it, so it was good in my books. Then I read When We Were Magic, which A+. I gave it 4 stars, but I still really, really enjoyed it. I really liked it. Started like so much like a punch in the face. It starts with an accidental murder, so that's awesome, and it's about witches, teenage witches, a group of witches. How many times can I say witches? But yeah, it was really good. I really liked the friendships and how this group deals with this accidental murder and some consequences from it. And it was gay, so we're here for that, of course. Gay witches, I mean, come on. What more could you want? It did make me cry like a million times. It didn't even feel like it was all that emotional. Like, of course, it dealt with some heavier topics, but I just cried through a majority of it. I don't even know why, but it was very good. Highly recommend. Then I read Brindle, which I gave 3 stars, graphic novel from NetGalley. It was pretty good. I really liked the art style mostly. That was what really pushed me to keep reading it. I wasn't like incredibly interested in the story. I don't really know why. I feel like this is when the reading slump really kicked in, because I feel like otherwise I would have really liked this graphic novel. I felt very little interest while reading it, but I don't think it really has anything to do with the book itself. I think I was just getting into a slump, so. Then I read City of Shattered Light, which I got from NetGalley, which I loved, gave it 4.5 stars. It took me a while to read, mostly because, you know, as I keep saying, reading slump, but A+. I'm trying really hard to get more into sci-fi, and this was definitely a good pick for that. More gayness. Very action-packed and interesting. I feel like I've been saying interesting a lot in this video, but yeah, I really liked it. I really liked all the characters. I thought they were all interesting. I have no other words in my brain, but yeah, I would definitely recommend this. I'm not sure when it comes out or if it's out already, but I definitely plan on buying this when it is out. 'Cause yeah, the cover is also like stunning. I'll probably have the covers up so you'll see, but that was like majority of the reason why I even requested it, because the cover was just stunning. So yes, another great cover read. Then I read The Passing Playbook, which I was very graciously sent by Penguin Teen. The physical arc for it and I have never been more excited to have a book in my hands in my life. I've never gotten a physical ARC before. I like screamed because I was so excited, and it took me a really long time to read this, mostly because I sobbed my eyes out like every 3 chapters, so I was just going through it with this book. I had a hard time reading it like consistently just because I kept crying, and I'm like, I don't want to cry all day while reading this, but I loved it. 5 stars, amazing. I think it portrayed what it was trying to portray really well. I really loved all the characters. I liked the dynamics between the characters. I loved how much representation in it there is. Like, the main character is a black, trans, gay man. Like, his little brother is autistic. There's bisexual characters. Like, there's a non-binary character. Like, it's so good. Like, the representation, amazing. I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I'm very excited that I have a publisher that works with me and wants to send me physical books. Like, this is the most exciting thing that has ever happened in my life. And lastly, I read Princess Ever After, which was so cute. Loved it. Gave it 5 stars. Very much a, like, you know, quick, fun, easy read. And I haven't really read anything since this, and I finished it like 2 weeks ago or something, so I mean, it was good. I really enjoyed it. If I gave it a 5 stars while in a reading slump, then, you know, fantastic. Okay, those are all the books that I read in the recent months. Hopefully this slump will go away so that I can read more and get my reading rates back up, because 6 books in a month? No, I want to read like 11 like I have been over the last few months. But yes, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know that I was very repetitive with the words that I chose, and I am still like pretty low energy from my health stuff. Just like a little tiny update here. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably know. I was dealing with heart stuff, with my heart racing really fast. Figured out that it was the antidepressants I was on, so I'm off those. The going off those cold turkey gave me really bad withdrawals, so I was dying. And then dealt with some really fun, really intense chest pain that caused me to go to the hospital, which I was there for 5 hours and they did nothing, which was super fun. But we figured out what that is as well. Basically like inflammation, I think, of like the chest wall. Very, very painful, but I am now on meds to help, and they have been working so far, so hopefully these health issues are done now and I can get back to filming and trying to be more positive, because I know that I was very negative for a little bit there on social media. Sorry if you saw all that. But yes, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I can get out of this reading slump and give you a larger reading wrap up next time. Okay, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!